Multivitamins promise to be the all-in-one solution for nutritional peace of mind. Just one pill a day, maybe two if you're feeling ambitious, and you're supposedly covering all your bases: bones, blood, immunity, energy, even your mood if there's a B complex involved. It's a comforting thought, like an insurance policy made of powdered vegetables and compressed minerals. But when it comes to calcium and iron, two of the big players in the multivitamin world, there's an invisible turf war happening in your gut, and if you don't time it right, they can sabotage each other before they ever reach your bloodstream. Calcium and iron are both essential. Iron helps your red blood cells ferry oxygen throughout your body and keeps your energy levels from dropping into the perpetually exhausted zone. Calcium, on the other hand, is crucial for strong bones, nerve transmission, and muscle contraction, including your heart. You definitely want both on your team, but they're not good at sharing. When taken together, especially in supplement form, they compete for absorption in the small intestine, particularly in the duodenum, where the magic, or in this case, the wrestling match, happens. It's not a fair fight either. Calcium tends to be the pushier mineral. Even at relatively low doses, say 300 to 500 milligrams, it can interfere with the uptake of iron, particularly non-heme iron from plant-based sources or supplements. It does this by occupying the transport proteins that iron needs to get absorbed. Think of it as two nutrients trying to get into a concert, but calcium cuts the line and grabs the last ticket, leaving iron stranded at the velvet rope. This becomes a real issue when you're trying to correct a deficiency. If you're low in iron and taking a supplement to build it back up, combining it with a calcium-rich multivitamin or a morning glass of milk may drastically reduce the effectiveness of the dose. In fact, research shows that calcium can reduce iron absorption by up to 50%, depending on the form and timing. That's not a small deter. That's your iron supplement taking a U-turn back to the pharmacy shelf. The reverse is true too, though less dramatically. High doses of iron can also interfere with calcium absorption, though the effect isn't as consistent or strong. Still, if you're trying to support bone health and you're tossing your calcium in with an iron-packed supplement, you might not be getting the benefit you paid for. This is where timing becomes the unsung hero of nutrient strategy. To get the most out of both minerals, separate them by a few hours. Take your iron supplement on an empty stomach in the morning or between meals, ideally with a boost of vitamin C to enhance absorption. Then take your calcium later in the day, perhaps with dinner, when you're already likely to be consuming foods that help its uptake. It's a simple fix, but one that can double the effectiveness of your efforts. And this isn't just a tip for supplement warriors. Even in whole food form, calcium and iron can clash. Pairing spinach, iron-rich, with a cheesy cream sauce or chasing your lentils with a cappuccino, which has both calcium and iron-blocking polyphenol, might not do your iron levels any favors. That's not to say you need to break up with culinary joy, but if you're managing anemia or bone loss, it's worth being a little strategic. Unfortunately, many multivitamins still cram calcium and iron into the same capsule, often under the assumption that people won't remember to take two separate pills. The convenience is great, but the bioavailability often isn't. If you're serious about optimizing your nutrition or correcting a deficiency, it may be better to skip the everything at once approach and take targeted supplements at different times. At the end of the day, calcium and iron are like two important guests who shouldn't be seated at the same table. They're both valuable, they both have something to say, but if they show up together, there's a good chance one of them is going to dominate the conversation. So give them both their own time to shine. Your body and your lab results will thank you for the scheduling.